Yes, I. Greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I Jah Rastafari. Greetings, Buju Banton. I just have to respond, man, because that session there with that interview, it just required that I man must respond. You don't leave me with no choice but to respond. Because when you defend something and something means something to you, and you know what you're dealing with, and you know what you're serious about what you're dealing with, then when you hear certain things, you say, "Oh, hold on. Must respond now." You understand? Because I'm African, born in Africa. All right, I come from different bloodlines in my veins. So you have from Swazi, South African, I have Zambia, we have Malawi, even have some Nigeria, some Igbo, from way back. Long story, can't tell you now. Long story. And my grandfather's side on one side, and the other side is freedom fighters. The other one is royal family. So we're into governance and fighting for freedom and development as well. So socioeconomic strategies against poverty. So we're in touch with the people. We're in touch with what the people need, and we're in touch with the politicians and the governments and everything, and create solutions and present it to the people and the governments. And we're creating a lot of things that we actually want to present to your government in Jamaica. By the way, I'd like to send my greetings and my prayers to Babsy Grange, and hopefully she's gonna be good, because there's a thing that we want to send to her and to the Prime Minister as well, and the people of Jamaica, out of our love for the people of Jamaica. You understand? So we do things real and official. And it takes time, because on the ground I want to make sure everything is right. So being amongst Jamaicans since I was 18 when I left Denmark and I went to England, because of the message that I got from Honorable Robert Nesta Marley's music. Okay, so for me to get into this thing, it took a whole sacrifice. I had to sacrifice my future. A very good student at school, everything set and everything, but when Rastafari came through, man, listened to Rastafari and just said, shocked my parents, shocked my family, and it was like, wow, you're throwing away your future. So Rastafari is calling, so follow Rastafari. So if I sound slightly Jamaican, I'm not trying to put on an accent. I don't believe in that type of thing. I don't believe in trying to be that. I love Jamaica, I love Jamaicans. I wish I was Jamaican, because Jamaicans are so cool, but I don't try to pretend I'm Jamaican. Okay, so the love will shine through, because I love how you stay. All right? And it's as simple as that. So I'm not going to be like most people who are Rasta. We're going to feel like being Rasta is like Patois is also part of being Rasta. So therefore people are going to start talking Patois in that sense, and this whole mockery, clowning type of thing, which now I try to stay English, I try to stay American, I try to stay South African, I try to stay African, and I love when the Jamaican comes through, because that's me, that's my experience amongst different people. Okay, so the work that I'm doing right now, I am on this trajectory because many years ago I was advised properly on what to do by none other than Delroy Washington. Delroy, right-hand man, part of the Wailers, right-hand man to Bob, right? And a recording artist in his own right, Delroy, from Harlesden, right? So Delroy is the one who made me understand that what comes from His Majesty is a directive, and so you just stay in the directive and you deal with it. But now this interview that you made, it kind of like moved right into my directive, and I said, okay, brethren, I'm gonna have to answer you now, because iron sharpen iron, not so? So at the same time, this is Rastafari, so response must happen, and from Africa too, because the generalization of Africa and how it's spoken about is like, okay, wait a second, my brother, just wait a second. So to show you what I mean, first of all, I want the eye to clarify whether or not the expression that you gave about Afrobeats artists not giving props to reggae artists, whether that particular expression comes out of or is influenced by the disrespect shown to Steel Pulse by Burna Boy. Because it's like you're called foul, but you're not called no name. But in an instance like this, brethren, because there's a lot of people involved in this, a whole lot of reggae artists and a whole lot of Afrobeats artists and a whole lot of fans of each genre and of both genres who are involved in this thing. So that general remark, that general feeling that you put across, and those general demands that you demand of African artists when it comes to standing up for rights. All of that, right? If all of that comes out of Burna Boy refusal or whatever, beef or whatever, with Steel Pulse, then that's unfortunate. Because such a picture should not be painted, because I think that that type of picture is besides the point. You know? Because it gives the impression that there is beef between Afrobeats and reggae, and there isn't. You know, there's more beef in dancehall music than there is between Afrobeats and reggae. And you know that. You know, so the beef culture, though man is vegan and vegetarian or pescatarian, that beef culture there. You know, so like brethren to kind of like rewind a little on that one and say, hold on, you know. Because we are all involved in fighting for freedom. You know, when you fight for freedom, if you're fighting for freedom, you're fighting for the people. The number one thing is to overstand all your people. Because you're not going to agree with all the people, but as a leader, what you do is to overstand all your people, and you show a disposition of overstanding all the people. Because what you just said, it brings a lot of question marks more than answers. Which is why I have to make this video. Like, what are you talking about? You know, what kind of props do you want? It gets confusing because on the one hand, you're saying that Afrobeats is a genre on itself and it did not borrow from reggae. So is it the artists you want to give props to reggae artists, or is it that the genre should give props to reggae for giving birth to it, but at the same time you say that it did not derive from reggae, you know? The beat that is in Afrobeats is also found in dancehall. You know, that beat is an ancient beat, and it comes, even Pokumina have it, right? So it's like a church music. So I was in Harlesden around the time that I was preparing to do my first walk in South Africa. I was in Harlesden preparing for that. And through moving through the spirit, just get interested to go to a church. And there was a church that used to be right opposite the hostel where I was living.